안녕하세요 여러분, 저는 리입니다. 오늘은 산에 맞선 드라마를 대해서 이야기할 거예요. 그럼 리뷰를 시작해요. Okay, I know I just said let's start the review, but I want to touch on a few things before we get started. I think this will be the new place that I film videos in our new suite, but I do want you guys to let me know that if the fish tank filter, because I'm right beside our fish tank, if it's too loud or distracting while you watch this video, please let me know. I will try and figure something out. Maybe I can put some music overlaying the next few videos, or I will try something. Okay, so now Business Proposal is a currently airing Netflix original K-drama with the classic messy plotline. If forecasting love and weather was my definition of a tired representation of the K-drama formula, this is a fun representation of all of those classic tropes and situations that we as K-drama fans know and recognize, but presented in a way that is still very entertaining. So our female lead impersonates her best friend and goes to a blind date in her place with the goal of scaring the poor guy off, aka our male lead. But twist, our male lead actually finds her loud persona incredibly refreshing, as he's had to sit through countless blind dates on the same day at the behest of his grandfather. So he kind of thinks to himself, like, at least this girl isn't boring. She's honest and has a liberal personality and is just interesting compared to everybody else. Now there's a few other layers of convoluted, messy, personal interrelationships and connections happening with the show, as you would expect by the K-drama formula. But I'm not going to touch on those because they could be considered kind of spoilery, and if you want to know a bit more about the show, you can just watch the trailer, which will give a bit more information about kind of the plot setup than I just gave. I'm going to go right into my pros and cons because I'm keeping this video a little bit shorter as I should be doing schoolwork. So pros right off the bat is, like I said, this is a fun, entertaining, easy show to watch. It makes me feel a bit nostalgic because a lot of the tropes or situations remind me of the shows that first got me into K-dramas to begin with. So I think if you are new to K-dramas, this show might be a lot more impactful for you than it is for me, because I'll mention in the cons, but a lot of the characters and the setup, because I've seen it all before, are quite forgettable. Not to say that they're not still entertaining and fun to watch now. Also really enjoyed the friendships being presented, both our female friendship between our two female leads and then also the bro friendship between the two male leads. Theirs is a little bit different because the male lead is the CEO and then the second male lead is his secretary, but they also have a good personal relationship, so they are friends, but you know, there's also that working dynamic in there too. Yeah, I liked both of those relationships and how they interact together. It feels very real, especially the female friendship. At first I was thinking, you know, in what world do these two women from very different socioeconomic backgrounds, in what world do they even cross paths to be able to become such friends? But I quickly let that question go because the chemistry that they have together is so good. I believe their friendship. Also, props to our female lead. I think by far she's the best actress of the bunch. I think she's the most grounded out of all of the characters. I believe all of her mannerisms, and she just brings a lot of depth to every scene that she's in, both as, you know, herself, but then when she's acting as her best friend in a negative way, when she's impersonating her best friend, you still believe that the actual character could act like this. I hope that makes sense. Again, overall, this is a very entertaining show, but I do have some cons, so let's just get into cons. Nothing is memorable. I forget about the show as soon as I stop watching it. I don't think about it when I'm not watching it. The characters are forgettable. Nothing about the show is going to stick with me long term. which is a bit of a bummer. Like the best viewing experience for me are the ones that you can't leave. Like when you stop watching it, you think about it, you theorize, you ship people together, all this stuff that doesn't really happen in this show. Yes, the romantic pairings are cute and entertaining enough, but I'm not super emotionally invested in anybody. It's just a candy, simple show to watch. My last con is that the pacing has started to slow down a little bit. I don't know if I've mentioned already yet, but this is an episode 1 to 8. I'll make sure to be clear about that in the thumbnail and the title because I don't think I mentioned it at the beginning of this video. And from episode 7 to 8, maybe even 6 to 8, I felt like the pacing really took a dive and it's gotten a lot slower. It's a little bit more of a drag for me to get through each episode. In fact, I didn't even finish episode 8 before I started scripting this video. I just got a bit bored. So I do hope it picks back up again because, like I said, it's just a fun, easy show for me to watch and put on. Yes, I am going to keep watching at least for another week. If it doesn't pick up in another week, I will probably drop it. Let me know down below if you guys are watching synopsis, what you think of the show so far, and especially if you're really invested in anybody, because like I've said, I'm not. Have a good day and a good night. Bye! Do you guys want to see my haircut? I didn't think I was going to like show it off yet because I'm not super happy with it, but I chopped it off. So I basically went to the hairdresser and was like, I want to keep as much of the length as possible, but it's very unhealthy at the ends, so take off as much as you need. So it's like, it's so short. I feel like I have no hair. And she also thinned it out. It was so funny at the end. I was like, wow, it's so light now. And she's like, yeah, I got rid of like half your head. Yeah, so that's my new haircut. I have no hair.